Welcome to the 19th Proof Animals Have Souls and Psychic show, produced through Passionate World Talk Radio, a subsidiary of Global Media Network. If you've listened to my show before, you'll know I'm a psychical researcher, a spiritual historian and lecturer, and decades-long vegetarian for compassionate reasons, and author of 3 books. These are Proof Animals Have Souls, 500 plus celebrities go vegetarian, and Moses and Jesus the Shamans, and Shamans are mediums. And listeners will come to realise I am passionate about compassion and respect for all animals, including the human animal. The human animal is a primate and a mammal, and we often forget that. And also I'm passionate about my long-standing research into shamanic, out-of-body, near-death experiences and mediumship. And for me, both the evidence of survival through mediumship and near-death experiences accounts not only provide some of the best evidence for after-death survival for all beings, but also provide details regarding the after-death landscapes that appear to be responsive to and shaped by our predominant thought patterns. My 2 books in my Proof Animals Have Souls series, which can be read independently of each other, is Proof Animals Have Souls and 500 plus celebrities go vegetarian, and my 3rd book being Moses and Jesus the Shamans. These are all on my website, which is www.jackie, Jackie, Jones, Jones, Hunt, Hunt.com. And if you click on those book images on my website, it will take you to the Amazon sites. So I would like to introduce you to a medium, Susan Bowman, who lives in Lancaster in England, in the northwest of England, and she is the vice president of Lancaster Spiritualist Church, which is a great honour to have Susan here. And Susan serves Blackpool Spiritualist Church, Fleetwood Spiritualist Church, and the 2 churches in Morecambe, which are all in the Lancaster area on the west coast, going north of Liverpool in England. So I'd like to welcome Susan to the show. So it's a pleasure and it's an honour to have you, Susan, as the Vice President of Lancaster Spiritualist Church on the show.
Hello, Jackie. Thank you for asking me.
How long have you been a medium, Susan?
About 33 years.
Well, that's almost a lifetime, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you do one-to-one sittings?
Yes.
Okay. How old are you, Susan?
73.
So it is a lifetime's work with you. And
yes.
you mentioned you'd had gender surgery 6 years ago.
Yes.
So it is an honour to have you on the show.
Thank you.
As a medium, would you like to tell listeners what your abilities are? Are you clairvoyant that you see, clairaudient that you hear, claircognizant that you know, clairsentient that you sense, or do you go into trance? If you could elaborate on any of that, I'd be grateful.
Well, yes, I do. I do all of them. Especially, I do trance, and I have a lady who comes to me every week, and we sit down and we let people talk through us, and we get some quite interesting results.
Well, that would be excellent.
Also, I've had a friend whose dog died on Sunday.
Yes.
And she didn't know what to do, so I took her and the dog back to the vets because he'd seen him only a few days before, and of course Sunday the vets are closed. They can't even offer me anywhere to go to take him for their hurt. She wanted him cremated.
Yes, because he'd passed away at home, I say.
Yeah, he passed away at home. So, because he was starting to warm up a little bit, I took him home and I put him in my fridge. and I waited for her to give me a ring that she'd found somewhere. So about an hour later, she phoned me. She said, "I found a pet crematorium that will take him." So I went round, picked her up, and I took her down to the pet crematorium.
Yes.
While, as soon as we were ushered into a room, she put him on the table, and I was comforting her because she's very upset, obviously, as I would be.
Yes.
And out the corner of my eye, she walked in, and it was, "Hello, what are we doing here then?" And that was telepathic to me. Well,
and that was from the dog. And what is the dog's name?
Harry.
Harry.
Yeah. And I was just so blown away with that. But I was trying to comfort his mum,
yes,
my friend. So I've never had it happen like this before. So I didn't ignore it, but I told her once we got outside what had happened, but because she was in a state anyway. When we got back to her home, I said, "Well, you need to listen out for him, or see if he barks, or if he runs about." And she said to me, "Well, I've done that." So apparently, when she hangs the washing out, she's got two dogs. The other one's already out in the garden, and she just automatically said, "Right, who's going to help me hang out the washing?" And she said, I heard his claws on the lino floor in the kitchen come across to the door.
Yes, so she heard his footprints, yes?
Yeah. This morning, as I was trying to get out with my Obi dog, there he is, fighting to get past me to get in.
Yes. So that was Harry again, trying to get in?
Yeah.
So,
because of his...
Okay, so to summarise that then, at the crematorium with the dead body of Harry, you heard Harry communicate with you saying, "What are we doing here then?" And then at home, Harry's human mum heard his footsteps, and then when you're putting your dog out, you see and hear Harry rushing into your house?
Yeah.
So that's amazing. Do you think Harry's feeling lost, or do you think he's feeling okay?
No, he's feeling okay.
Oh, that's the important thing, in case he was feeling lost and running back home.
Yeah. No, she's left his bed out and a toy, and obviously the other dog's got food out anyway, so if he wants it, he can still find it. The one thing that pleased her was I was the only person that he didn't run away from when I first met him.
Yes.
And I said, "Well, I got down on the floor. It's a Apso, or what it's called."
Yes.
They're not big.
Yes.
Well, if you're towering over a dog, it's much easier to get down on the floor and make friends with it. That's what I did, and that was he'd always come up to see me.
Oh, that's lovely. Are they the type of dog that they say are Buddhist monks reincarnated?
Yeah.
I wonder if he is a Buddhist monk reincarnated.
I don't know. I never got round to asking that one.
Okay.
But as for being a guard dog, he was the biggest coward go. Anyone who came through the door, he was round behind the settee before they got in.
Oh, what a sweetheart. So you feel they communicate with you telepathically, for example? Is it telepathic, or did you hear?
Yes.
Well, you said you heard Harry speak,
Well,
but it was in your mind. Yeah. And do you pick up their feelings?
Yes. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
I was at a church in Oldham.
Yes.
And I got to the clairvoyance, and on the handrail was this wonderful big Amazon parrot, you know, those red, green, yellow, blue things.
Yes.
And I said, "Well, I'm sorry, I don't know who I'm with this." I said, but I described the parrot, and they all laughed. So the person said, "I need to tell you that it belonged to one of our members."
Yes.
And she always said, because this thing's pecking away at the handrail it's standing on, pulling strips of it off.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, this old lady used to say it was absolutely perfect, didn't do anything wrong. And after she died and they got in the house, it had shredded the place.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So it was obviously showing behaviour problems because it was upset because she died?
Yeah.
What keeps you motivated in your work, Susan, as a medium?
Oh, seeing the smiles on people's faces. It is absolutely wonderful. Doesn't matter how far you've travelled to the church, but you say something and the person that you're talking to lights up immediately. You know you've hit the nail on the head, so to speak, with what you're saying. I just feel so happy over it.
Yes, well, that's when you give, you receive. Is there anyone in particular who's inspired you on your spiritual path?
My second wife, she took me into a spiritualist church in Watford, in Middlesex. Hertfordshire. And the lady on the door, her arms round me, gave me a kiss and a cuddle and said, "Come in." And I walked in there and I knew I'd walked into the right place. And it was that, I didn't realise what I was doing, but that was when I made my contract with Spirit to work for them.
That's lovely. I've been into spiritualism for, since the 80s, and we got married, my husband and I, in a spiritualist church in Coventry 31 years ago, Parkside Spiritualist Church. Eric Hatton and another lady whose name escapes me at the moment were particularly fond of that particular church. Do you have a spiritual message you'd like to share with listeners?
Yes, just be aware that they are there with you. They want you to succeed always, because you are an advocate for them, and they would like you to keep going with your good works.
Well, that's nice, thank you. And that's helping people to develop their mediumship.
Yep.
Do you do that at the churches that you work at?
Yep.
Do you help people develop their mediumship?
Yeah, I'm going to Circle tonight.
Well, it would be nice to come along to your circles and to your church, because your church isn't that far away from us.
No,
and you feel
that's
that,
right.
I do too, that mediumship develops through meditation throughout a person's life. I was a very close person to Gordon Higginson, the former president of the Arthur Findlay College down in Essex, which trains mediums and gives out philosophy.
That's right.
And Gordon said that he spent more years in meditation than he did in sleep. And he was doing that since he was the age of 3. And the little chair he had in his circle that the mother put him in, they had to cut the legs of the wooden chair so that his little feet could touch the floor.
Oh, lovely.
Do you have any exceptional experience? It's 13 minutes now and we're coming towards the end at 15 minutes. So do you have an exceptional experience that stands out in your mind? Or have I caught you on the hop there?
No. The day I got married the first time, I was standing outside my in-laws-to-be and somebody said, "Don't do it!" And I turned round to see who was there and there was nobody there. And it went on. I had 15 years of yelling and shouting.
Oh, that's horrible.
I know.
So you came out of that relationship and then married later on with, was that second person your soulmate?
Yes, absolutely.
You just needed to wait for your soulmate.
Yeah, that was it. When my Lynn died, she died in my arms. The following morning, when I took the dog that I had then out for a walk, I shouted her name out when I got outside the front door, and all I could hear in my head was, "I'm free, I can fly."
Oh,
and then
wonderful.
The next day, I did exactly the same thing, and all I could hear was, "I'm out of pain."
Oh, so.
And it was one.
And do you see and hear her from time to time?
From time to time, yes.
I'm sure that helps relieve the grief and the sadness and missing each other.
Yeah, quite.
They say mediums are the best counsellors, best bereavement counsellors, because instead of remembering how they die, you are in an onward going relationship with them. Because people often, the last thought is of how they passed, and their mind sticks with that, and their grief sticks with that, rather than how they then wake up, like near-death experiences describe, and how they find they're with other family and friends, so they're having meet and greet there, but the sadness of leaving people here, and how their life continues. And that's how we should see them, not just see them as the person who passed on the bed or in the hospital, but the person who's in an onward-going relationship with you.
Yeah.
Well, the time has come to an end, Susan.
Oh,
so I will say goodbye, and I'm sure we should speak again on other things in the future, and look forward to seeing you again. Thank you very much, Susan. Thank you. Bye.